For centuries, people thought of anxiety as boulders that weigh them down in life, but that is not what one of the greatest thinkers of our time, Søren Kierkegaard, thought. Kierkegaard realized most of the philosophical works up to his time were somehow lacking in depth, and that they were nothing but echoes of inauthenticity. This ultimately guided Kierkegaard's philosophical compass that led him to his ultimate truth: angst and the existential condition. Kierkegaard's concept of angst or existential anxiety, a concept that earned him a seat amongst philosophy's greats, is so profound that many to this day still find it hard to grasp. But those who learned to let go were able to ultimately grasp it and change their lives for the better. Of course, one of the misconceptions about his concept of angst is that it is mistakenly correlated to anxiety disorders, but Kierkegaard argues that it is a universal constant, a response mechanism of the human psyche to the vast unknown that encapsulates their very beings, something to contemplate about rather than avoid. He believes that angst is a probing of the existential, something that is philosophical in nature, and that it warrants further investigation. To view something that is deeply ingrained into humanity's existence, one will be compelled to the uncertainties of one's life, together with all the mysteries that come along with them, and even examine the unavoidable death, no matter how daunting. For Kierkegaard, the causality of this need is the fact that humanity thrives out of consciousness, giving them the ability to look into the depth of their inner being. This ability of self-awareness becomes the thin line at which we traverse back and forth between the want for tranquil stability and the universal truth of chaos and uncertainty. The wisdom Kierkegaard entailed became for some their foothold, a way for them to perceive the wall that separates the exploration of anxiety and the deliverance of a profound and meaningful life. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. A quote that Kierkegaard immortalized is the condensation of the very wisdom he believed and lived, that anxiety is the direct result of the accountability our actions bring, and this knowing becomes the seed of anxiety for each of us. That is how he came to the conclusion that the multitude of paths laid in front of us creates an environment of anxiety, and that the need to weigh in a decision on which path to take for us to reach our individual truths walls and traps us, making us uneasy, leading us further and further from that which we seek in the first place. Using anxiety as a catalyst for greatness. Søren Kierkegaard positioned anxiety as an essential component of existence, with the capacity to profoundly affect our personal and existential evolution, in stark contrast to the prevalent conception of anxiety as a solely negative force. He suggested that the key to differentiating between a life well lived and one bogged down in emptiness and misery is how we respond to worry and the choices we make during it. He was also the one to say that the only way we can overcome anxiety is by means of passion. Kierkegaard believed that anxiety, when properly harnessed, could act as a powerful catalyst for personal development and self-realization. Through the cultivation of passionate pursuits, which could range from love and creative endeavors to personal growth and career ambitions, one could transform the experience of anxiety into a driving force that imbues life with purpose, vitality, and deep satisfaction. Central to Kierkegaard's teachings is the notion of subjective truth, the idea that truth bears personal significance and authenticity to the individual experiencing it. This form of truth resonates at the core of our being, distinct from external or objective standards. Kierkegaard urged individuals to delve into the depths of their own subjectivity, exploring personal values and aspirations to uncover passions that are truly aligned with one's inner self. He famously stated, "The crucial thing is to find a truth which is truth for me, to find the idea for which I am willing to live and die." This encapsulates the essence of his philosophy, highlighting the importance of embracing one's subjective truth and the existential commitment required to pursue what holds personal significance. Kierkegaard understood that moving away from intellectual certainty and objective reasoning is necessary in the search of subjective truth. This journey is going beyond the boundaries of social standards and conventional wisdom in order to delve into our own souls and find truths that speak to our unique selves. It takes a leap of faith to embrace subjective truth, a profound existential and emotional commitment to believing that our own experiences, viewpoints, and goals are true. This leap of faith involves more than just accepting uncertainty. It also involves facing the fears that surface when we deviate from the familiarity of group beliefs. It is a vow to lead a life driven by inner meaning, even in the lack of scholarly agreement or outside approval. By using this method, Kierkegaard provides a way to turn anxiety from a constraining to a freeing force that promotes a life of genuine inquiry and deep fulfillment. Confronting anxiety and embracing action. Anxiety often exerts a paralyzing grip on our emotions and thoughts, hindering our ability to progress and make decisions. It shrouds our lives in a shadow that clouds judgment and drains motivation. Kierkegaard argued that succumbing to anxiety leads to despair and a fragmented life experience. If left unaddressed, anxiety becomes a devouring beast that will not only consume our very being, but the very light that we could have used to shine into others as well. This beast will also aim to control your life, taking you farther and farther from freedom and a life well lived. That is why Kierkegaard ever advocated facing anxiety head-on so as not to give it a chance to gain a foothold, to protect our very being before it even gains access to our very cause. He posited that growth and self-realization are achieved by moving beyond the confines of our anxieties and taking decisive action in their presence. By confronting anxiety, we reclaim control over our lives, acknowledging the inherent risks and uncertainties of decision-making, but refusing to be dominated by them. Anxiety, though uncomfortable, can serve as a guide toward areas needing personal growth and transformation. At the heart of Kierkegaard's philosophy is the insight that self-development is intricately linked to our ability to confront the existential dread anxiety provokes. He maintained that true self-realization and the pursuit of meaning are possible only through bold leaps of faith and a wholehearted embrace of life's inherent uncertainties. This approach helps us resist the temptation to conform to societal norms and avoid distractions that hinder personal growth and self-discovery. The path to self-actualization and personal fulfillment is not an easy one, as Kierkegaard acknowledged. It necessitates facing existential fears resulting from the unknowable, the erratic, and the complexity of life. We set out on a journey of self-discovery and transcendence by proactively addressing this worry. Genuine self-realization, according to Kierkegaard, necessitates a firm dedication to authenticity and a rejection of social demands to fit in. He voiced a warning about the perils of conforming to social norms, which can impose restraints that stifle originality and drive us away from our genuine selves. In order to discover true meaning and purpose, we need to respect our individual viewpoints, desires, and goals rather than giving in to stereotypes. Without questioning societal norms, we run the risk of losing our agency and limiting our ability to evolve as individuals. The only way to escape the grasp of anxiety is to embrace its roots of chaotic uncertainties and replace the fear it sprouts with awareness of our very uniqueness and the uniqueness our very actions lead us on. We may lose our ability to see it all, which will permanently deny us the opportunity to live the greatest life possible if all we rely on is distracting stuff that keeps us temporarily blind to our amazing vulnerability. That is why we must iterate the importance for us to look inward, down into the depth of our very being, to know everything with ourselves, down from our innermost fears, up towards our greatest fulfillments. Even if we fail to discover our ultimate truths, the journey of self-discovery alone will be worth more than anything else that can be found inside the bottomless pit of anxiety's maw. As we reflect on Søren Kierkegaard's philosophy, we understand that confronting anxiety is not about evasion, but engagement. By embracing our deepest uncertainties, we discover our true potential. Share your thoughts or experiences in the comments below. Thank you for being here with me today and creating a community where we inspire and uplift each other. Let us move forward, using our anxieties not as barriers, but as gateways to a deeper understanding of ourselves and a richer, more purposeful life. Until next time.